All right, episode 3 of Just Start Talking. It's 2 to 2 right now. So today it's about, I think whatever you believe is what becomes true for you. So I was just thinking about how so many of us have this tendency to expect the worst in fear or in protection of being let down if we expect the best, right? Also, some people have this fear of jinxing things and oh, if you don't say that things are going good because you're gonna jinx it and things are gonna go bad. And I've kind of thought about that process, and I'm like, man, why do we have these beliefs? Why do we have these ideas that we have to prepare ourselves for a worst case scenario? And I remember one of my friends has been saying this thing about positive overthinking, right? And every time I catch myself lately expecting a negative outcome, or I guess preparing myself for a negative outcome, I've started to think about that concept of positive overthinking, because it's true, if we have the ability to think about things going wrong, why can't we have the equal ability and belief about things going right? And if we do that, and we are the writers of our own story, wouldn't we just be writing the positive things out? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us are in fear of being let down, but when you're let down, it's because you have an expectation. And when you have an expectation, then are you doing things for the right reasons, Because you can want something, but having the expectation of getting something in a specific way is interfering with God and the universe, We can want something, but not know how it's going to play out and still expect to get it, Or not expect to get it, but we know that we're going to achieve what we want. We just don't know how. And if we just have this faith that everything will work out, right? And we just don't know how, then everything will work out. And the path will surprise us as much anyway. You know what I mean? But why not use our power of thinking towards good instead of bad? Why not use because all of our words and thoughts are frequencies. I'm sure there's plenty of articles that we can read now that will prove that, right? And it's okay, so if all of what we think is a frequency, and I'm focusing, let's say I'm someone that's very negative and stuff, and that's all that I focus on, what more can I expect but to get negative? If you have a bad day, you wake up bad and everything seems to go wrong, well, it's probably because you're holding on to the fact that you woke up bad. You know what I mean? But first, it's also having an open mind that sometimes when things are quote unquote bad, it's sometimes just a lesson to something else. It's not necessarily a negative thing. Everything obviously happens for a reason, so we just have to shift our perspective. And when you start just shifting your perspective when quote unquote bad things happen, or when things are just not going your way, or when you're excited for something but you're not sure how to feel, and you just start shifting everything to be in a positive, expecting the best, notice how much good follows you, even if it's not in the conventional ways that you thought, or that we would normally expect, good still ends up following us everywhere. You just have to open your awareness to it. I'm gonna lift my Octo Buddy again. But yeah, when we expect positive things happen. So why don't we do that more often? Why do we choose to sit in our misery out of comfort, out of because ultimately our misery is just proving our misery correct. So we are just in this cycle of proving ourselves correct. And the thing that I think is scary for a lot of people about positive thinking is that since it's unconventional and it's usually not in the ways that we think, it's unknown. And since we don't know how the positivity or how our ideas and things are going to play out in a positive way, we choose the comfort of expecting the worst, because that we can at least predict, like we can be comfortable and the response will be safe, and we'll stay in that cycle, And so many of us are never aware that we're the ones keeping ourselves in this cycle, But when you start to broaden your awareness to like what you're thinking and what you're constantly focusing on, and you just shift the focus to be on better things, like obviously there are still, like I said, quote unquote bad things that are going to happen, but when you shift your perspective, it just becomes easier to handle and see the bigger picture, like, and just zoom out and see how things are still working out, just maybe not in the conventional way that you thought or that anyone thinks or whatever. And I think like I've been trying to do that more in my life, and I see how it's like paying off. I also see how the opposite, like how the fact that I wasn't thinking positive was affecting me so much, because I'm in control of how I make myself feel. And if we choose to blow up the negative narratives, well, we're going to feel like shit, and you're going to feel negative. And that's just how it is. So when you focus on that, on the good things, more good comes into your life, and you realize it's easier to get out of those funks and depressions. You just have to take the wheel again. And this is just a reminder today, if you feel like you're in the back seat, like you always hold the wheel, you just have to become aware of the habits that are driving your car right now. Like sometimes we're just so, like, when I first started this process, I was so accustomed to thinking negative that I didn't even realize like I was able to like tell the driver what to do, and or that I was a driver, if that analogy makes any sense. So awareness is not gonna, like, it's not a quick thing unless you want it to be, obviously we all control how we take and respond to things, but you're shifting a lot of habits. So it's normal for you to still feel like, I don't know how to take the wheel, but it starts with just being aware of your thought processes. Like, what are the thoughts that are going on in your brain on a regular day-to-day basis when nothing is happening, when you're just sitting there? Are you usually thinking negative? When you're waiting in a line, are you mad that you're waiting in a line? Are you mad that you're like taking up time in this line instead of doing something else? Or are you present and you're just like enjoying the fact that maybe you're getting some time to yourself and you're in this line, but you really don't have to be doing anything else, and that's your breather, like that's your self-care time, like everyone thinks that these things have to be conventional, but self-care is time like to yourself that is just like intentional to be present. Like that is what meditation is being present, right? And you can be present anywhere, like literally anywhere. Like I've been doing that a lot, where I'm in like places that I'm waiting for something or whatever. I've just started to like take a deep breath and look around. Like I literally ask myself, or ask the universe, like, what are you trying to tell me? Why am I here right now? Like, because obviously everything happens for a reason. What am I supposed to see? And I just try, like I challenge myself to find a lesson out of my setting, out of my situation, whatever I'm in. Like I just challenge myself to find the reason why I'm there. Like, what am I supposed to pick up from here? And being that way just helps you, like, one, enjoy life more, because you get to, like, see more beauty in it. Like, being somewhere and you're seeing a family, like, go out to lunch, and that's just sweet. Like, you just have an appreciation for life when you become more present. So shifting your perspective to be more positive in general. Instead of viewing things that are quote unquote negative or like force us to slow down, like, yeah, let it force you to slow down. Like, enjoy where you're at. Take that second to breathe. Maybe when you go grocery shopping, yeah, it's a pain that you're going grocery shopping and you have to wait in this line to buy the shit. But like, also, you're getting time away from your kids, you know, like that you need a second to like breathe and focus on you. Get a pair of headphones, like wired headphones or whatever, and listen to a podcast that you like, or listen to music that you like, or call your friend that you haven't talked to in forever, or just stand in the line and look around. You know what I mean? Like, be more present in a positive way. View things more just like peaceful in general. We cause a lot of our own battles in these situations. Like, I know I observe people a lot. So I see, like, if I'm out, like, with my mom or something, like, the way that she reacts to things going wrong. And usually, like, anybody reacts, like, if someone cuts you off, like, your instinct is to start bitching. And, like, if someone, if someone goes to do something, like, that would just normally piss someone off, like, you get pissed off. But I've started to, like, me, when I get cut off when I'm driving, I'm just kind of like, okay, let me slow down. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm human. Sometimes I do still get pissed off. But in general, it's just like, we choose in those moments how to react to things. And when you realize how much power you have, again, over your emotions and yourself, like, you choose your suffering or you choose your peace. And you always have that choice. That has never been in anyone else's control but your own. So why not use that to your advantage? And I've just been trying to do that in my life lately, especially through being sick. Like I expressed in episode 2, I hate being sick. Being sick has been really fucking hard because I feel like a lazy bitch and I'm just like in bed. But I had to shift my perspective and relax a little. Like, I don't give myself a lot of time to like relax. I watched a few movies, not much because I'm not a huge fan of movies, but I watched some movies. I read, I like watched funny videos. I rotted, like I gave myself a second to catch up. And other times I wrote, like you know what I mean? Like, I still got things out of being sick. And if I would have just sat and sulked about how sick I am, which, don't get me wrong, some days I feel like I did more of that, like, I would have been the only one putting myself in that misery. Because ultimately, being sick allowed me to be home alone for a little and like relax and take some time to myself, and slow down and just like also look at my life and be grateful for what I do have and the people that I have and everything. So all of it's perspective. And when you realize how much control you have over your perspective, that you choose your suffering, you choose your positivity, it gets a little easier to start to see the bright side and to then continue to see the bright side and spread that also. Like, the more that you focus on good, the more that your circle of influence gets influenced to good. And I've already seen that in my life, and in the lives of those people around me that are positive. Like, it just keeps uplifting those frequencies. So, just a challenge for y'all, like, give yourself a second today to become aware of those beliefs and like thought processes that go on in those silent moments. Like, are you focused more on negative things, or are you just at peace and present? Like, and it doesn't have to be this like complex meditation, but just like if you find yourself standing somewhere and you have to wait and you don't want it to be in bad like spirits, just take a deep breath and like start to focus and notice things around you, and make it a game, bro. Like, I don't know, see how many like red birds you can see, you know, like, I don't know, give yourself something to make life fun. Like, when I was a kid, I used to imagine being a spy when I was at like a grocery store, like, and I would literally just be walking next to my parents, but in my head, I'm flipping through these fucking aisles and doing like, I don't know, defending my family. I don't know. That was fun to me. Like, that was what got me through those times when I was young. Like, and I was bored in this fucking Walmart. Like, do that now. Like, allow yourself to be a kid, and to see things lighter, because everything is really light, and just have fun, be lighthearted, and expect the best always, because trust me, God has the best, and more than we will understand. So just expect the best and watch it be rewarded to you.